Welcome to Western Wisconsin Journal. I'm Bobby Pominville, and I'm your reporter on the arts. And today we're going to talk about the visual arts. So I have invited Anastasia Shartin, my friend and sort of colleague at the FIPS. I almost feel like I'm her colleague. And she's the visual arts coordinator. So we have lots to talk about today, lots going on down there. But first, tell our audience what you do at the FIPS.
All right. Well, as you said, I'm the visual arts director at the FIPS. The FIPS is a multidisciplinary arts center, community arts center. So my responsibilities are in the visual arts program. That's primarily the galleries. So we put about 10 exhibitions together a year, regional artists. So the exhibitions are up for about a month, give or take. And in addition to the galleries, also classes, any visual arts classes, so painting, drawing, pottery, other mixed media classes, the gift gallery. And then I also have been really involved in implementing and developing public art programs. So one of the kind of most well-known in Hudson is the Healing Arts program at Hudson Hospital.
Oh, one of my favorites.
Yeah, that's a great program. That's been around for about 10 years now. And that has inspired other public art programs, somewhat similar. Westfield's Hospital now in New Richmond, we're partnering with them to present original work by regional artists in rotating exhibitions.
I love that.
In their public spaces, and also Croydale Senior Housing Center in Bayport.
Oh,
we do
that's so
exhibitions
neat
there.
that you do that. And it really is, it just enhances the buildings. And it's so nice when you go in there and you see that beautiful art.
Yeah. One of the great things about those programs is that for visitors, wonderful, but the impact that it's had on staff, and then with Croydale as a residential center too, because your work environment then changes. You know, every 3 months there's something new to see, and it's been a great way for the staff at those facilities to talk to one another and talk to patients about things other than, the medical issues and such. And so that's been just a really great thing that was sort of unanticipated, or just this really wonderful outcome from those programs.
Well, that really is for everybody.
And those are the I call those public art programs. Those are the exhibition programs. But then we also have been doing public art with a series of bench projects in the Lower St. Croix Valley too, and that's a project I'm really excited about right now.
That's the one we're going to focus on today. I want to hear all about that. You've got a art bench trail along the St. Croix, and it's not just Hudson.
Right.
So tell us about that.
Sure. There are actually 7 communities. There's 7 of these unique artworks in the form of a bench that have been created since 2006, from 2006 to 2011. So 7 different communities up and down the Lower St. Croix Valley, St. Croix Falls, Somerset, Hudson, and Prescott in Wisconsin. Marine on St. Croix, Bayport, and Carpenter Nature Center in Minnesota. And so each of those projects developed working with local youth, local organizations, local volunteers, bringing in a facilitating artist to lead the project so that it results in really beautiful, unique, interesting benches that will last for a very long time. So so they're really, really well done and well made. And funding for that all came about in different ways. And each one was a very organic process. Once we got about 7 of them, we started to think, well, now we can move into the second phase of this project. So we're continuing to develop new benches, but we want to really encourage people to visit these benches, and so develop the art bench trail that connects them.
Yes.
And it's not literally a trail. We've not put pavement down to literally connect people, but rather through signage, through marketing materials, a website, www.artbenchtrail.org, great website. You can go there and find information about each of the benches, little stories about how they came about, a map and directions to get you to each of them, and also activities that you can do at the benches. So we're hoping that people throughout the summer and into the fall and that they go out and independently go and visit the benches, maybe go to 2 or 3, in a day, and eat at a great restaurant in the local town there, take a hike, do a kayak ride, whatever. But then there are also events that we have organized and that we're partnering with the communities to bring awareness to and to bring people to the benches to experience naturalists or poetry readings or some interesting things together.
And
so
hopefully when the rain goes away, can we actually start doing that?
Yes.
In May. We hope that the weather will cooperate now.
Exactly.
But are you saying you're into another phase of benches now?
Well, what I'm saying is that when we being the Phipps Center for the Arts, the St. Croix Valley Foundation, the two of us have been really primary partners from the very beginning. And then now the National Park Service is also, the National Park Service through their programming and their rangers have been really involved in various bench projects, but now they're really formally involved in the trail because, as most people should know, the St. Croix River is a national park, and so we're really highlighting that, and hopefully through people's experiences at the benches and going out into these communities, they will have a greater appreciation for really the natural and cultural richness of our region.
I hope so. Now, I want to get into the nitty-gritty a little.
Okay.
How are you going to direct people to do a bench? And then are you going to put out an all-call and just see who comes? Or?
Well, at this point, it's about bringing people to the existing benches.
Oh, right. Okay.
So we're not, the art bench trail, that experience is about going and visiting the existing benches.
Oh, yes.
Simultaneously with that, though, we are developing new benches. There's actually a bench project in process in Osceola right now. We got a National Endowment for the Arts Challenge America grant for that. So this fall, that bench will be unveiled. So there will be an 8th bench on the trail.
Oh, good.
And then I've been in conversation with a few different communities. And so there are probably, my guess would be, within the next 2 to 3 years, we will probably have 10 to 12 benches in the valley.
Oh, that's wonderful.
And we'll promote them all as part of this trail.
And then you'll have a special person come in and sort of lead it?
Well, each of the bench projects, there is an artist who comes in and works with the community members. And there's always youth involved, whether it's Girl Scout troops or school groups, or here in Hudson, it was the Destination Imagination program.
Oh, right.
That was really, really involved. So we had, I think, 60 kids and their parents and teens working on that.
That's wonderful. Now, are the benches ready to go, or do you have to build them? Or?
No, they
they're
are
all
ready to go.
And they're wood, I assume.
No, they're all different materials.
Oh, really?
All different materials, yep. The bench up in St. Croix Falls is granite. There are these 3 granite, huge pieces of granite onto which have been etched line drawings that the kids who worked on that bench created, and also words and phrases, in addition to bronze sculptures that they made with Jim Shoup, an artist up in St. Croix Falls.
Wonderful.
The bench at Croydale in Bayport is mosaic. They worked with Judy Sell on that, and that was a Girl Scouts working. It was an intergenerational project with the Girl Scouts and the older adults at Croydale. Let's see. The bench at Carpenter Nature Center is steel. And that steel has been cut out with line drawings, again, that the Girl Scouts that worked on that bench created after many, many experiences of being at Carpenter Nature Center, doing bird banding, helping with making maple syrup, volunteering at their apple blossom race to sort the recycling. And
there's so many things
each is
you
different.
can coordinate with it. And it's
true.
really quite an education for kids that are, well, more apt to stay inside and do the computer and, So it really gets people outside.
This
and
challenges them to get
enjoying
out.
nature.
Yeah.
And the one in Hudson, if I'm right, is very close to the Dike Road.
It's actually quite close to the boat launch.
The boat launch.
Yep, it's at Picnic Point. So it's right between the boat launch and the playground, right at Picnic Point. And that's called the River Bench. And it's a mosaic and concrete bench in the shape of a fish.
Oh, yeah.
So you can, and then there's a checkerboard that's on it too, so you can sit and play checkers on the bench.
Oh, that's neat.
Yeah.
Very neat.
Yeah.
So anyway, I just love the project. I think
you.
it's a wonderful idea.
Thank you.
And I love that it involves the youth too.
Yeah. It's
That's
really
very
integral.
special.
Very integral.
Very special.
And the thing I think that I love about these projects is that it brings different sectors of the community together.
Yes.
We fundraise to be able to pay the artist and be able to pay materials and other expenses.
Right.
But that fundraising is always matched or oftentimes exceeded by the in-kind donations. So whether it's volunteer time from adults and others, from the local community, other volunteers, or donation of materials as well. So, some of in Hudson, for example, we have etched stones with a timeline of the river, kind of different things that happened right there in Hudson along the river. Back a couple hundred years, and the person who etched that stone did that as an in-kind donation. DeBruzzi Concrete, that put the concrete pad in, donated much of his time in terms of that. So it's always this nice interweaving of kids and adults and businesses and nonprofits and the city oftentimes, parks departments and all that kind of coming together and supporting this.
Oh, that's a great project.
Really
That's really the main focus, but there's so many other things going on at the FIPS. Every time I walk through there, I'm so inspired. And I've seen pottery in the high school art exhibit, and not too long ago, vintage clothing.
I know.
And it was very neat to walk through that one.
Yeah.
So great for you to do all that variety and always have something fun and interesting. So what's going on right now at the FIPS for spring?
Well, as you said, our annual area high school art exhibition just came down. That was a great success. That is an exciting show. There's usually about 200 plus students who participate, and it fills all of our galleries. So right now we have another exhibition that's organized. We put a call out for artists and we jury artists in.
Right.
So this is one of the shows that resulted from that. So we give over gallery spaces to individual artists and they get to show quite a bit of their work. As well, we've recently embarked on a partnership with Northern Clay Center in Minneapolis.
Oh, right.
And so the Atrium Gallery 3 times a year is given over to ceramic artists from the St. Croix Valley that the Northern Clay Center has a relationship with and wants to highlight. And so right now, Joe Samuelson's work
I know
is up
that
in
name.
Yeah.
He used to be from Stillwater, I'm sure.
Yes, he's taught at Stillwater High School. Exactly. Yeah.
That's where my husband's got his start in art.
Okay.
And he did get a degree.
Very good. Very
But
good.
the pottery is very interesting, and I've always enjoyed those pieces and how innovative those people can be.
Well, the St. Croix Valley is an incredibly rich region for ceramic artists. I mean, it is.
That's true.
People are drawn here. There's a great supportive community. There's the educational kind of opportunities at UW River Falls and University of Minnesota, and then a lot of these potters are teaching out of their studios. We have classes at the FIPS that we run throughout the year during summer art camp. Our pottery program for ages 4 up through teens is our most kind of in demand portion of our summer art camp program.
Program.
Yeah,
I've never tried it myself, but
you should.
I know it's one of my husband's favorite venues is
you
to do
should.
pottery.
It's
And he
very
taught
rewarding.
that at Baldwin High School, so it was really fun to watch a lot of that. I'm not really that kind of an artist. I'm more a musician.
You are.
Artist. But I did get in on a lot of that because of my husband's involvement.
Right.
So, yes, the pottery is just amazing. I've been in some of those studios in the valley. and they're very, very nice.
Well, I would say there are lots of great pottery tours that are organized.
That's true.
So
There
yes,
are organized tours of potters in the area, and you can drive
Starting
within so
throughout-
many miles, and you'd be amazed how
and you
many.
could go to their studios, meet
Yes.
them, see where they're making their work, and
True.
purchase directly from them. And
They're quite well organized, I would
yeah.
say.
Oh yeah, they are.
They are.
They are, and well worth the experience. Well worth
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
I have to agree. I think that's just marvelous. Well, should we talk about summer art now? You've got
Sure.
a summer art camp to die for. How many kids do you bring in?
Oh gosh, I would be guessing at this point. There's at least a couple hundred that come through, if not more than that.
Oh, yes, and it's very much in demand.
And in addition to the visual arts during the summer, there's also theater programs, dramatics
True. That's true.
classes, and we have a magic class that's
Oh,
being
yeah, you
offered
have
this year for the
performing
first
arts,
time.
too.
And yeah.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Dance. There's dance
Everything's on there.
programs. Yeah, yeah.
What a great way for these kids to get involved in the summer.
The neat thing about our summer art camp is that we offer classes. I think there's 8 or
my
9 weeks of
goodness, look at all
classes, and they are configured differently. So each class starts and ends within a week, but one class you might just meet once for 2 or 3 hours, whereas another class you might meet 3 times on 3 consecutive days.
Okay.
For a half day, and then there are also classes where you would meet 5 days a week for half days, and you can pair those then so that you could spend a full week at the Phipps. And we have
great.
the opportunity where you can stay for lunch and be supervised, and we try to make it over to the park
that's
just to
very
breathe different air.
convenient for families.
Yeah, exactly. So you could drop your child off
I didn't know you did that.
for a class starting at 9 o'clock and pick them
Right.
back up at 4 o'clock. And
Oh, that's very nice for the parents.
Yeah. So there's, as I said, you can, do that extensive of an experience, or, just try a class here or there throughout the summer just to kind of punctuate your summer vacation.
Well, I know it's been very popular, and I know
Yes.
if I ever go down there during those weeks, I think every space
That's all that happens during those weeks down there.
is so involved, and there's
Yeah.
so many classes, and I don't know how you work that all out, but it's just marvelous.
Thank you. Thank you.
So I know you're going to have a huge
I love it.
summer camp.
Yeah, I love it. I think it is so much fun. And these kids, there are many kids that come back year after year. And so that
yes.
is the thing. They own the place, like, hey, how are you? And they, know exactly what to do. And then you see these other kids that this might be their first time, or their like older siblings have been there and now they get to go, and there's a little bit of that. But by the second day when they walk in, it's like, all right, bye mom, bye dad.
they love it.
Here we go. And they really feel like they own the place, and that's exciting.
It's a marvelous thing because I just love to see them getting exposed to the arts, and you've got so many different classes that they can get involved as much as they want.
That's right.
All right. Well, so I did want to promote that. It starts June
Excellent.
16th, I see.
Yep, through August 15th.
So you have a registration going pretty soon.
Yeah, it's been open. It's open.
Oh, it is open.
I don't believe any classes are full at this point,
okay.
but we have, registration's been open since the middle of March. So if people are interested, they should definitely go to the Phipps website, www.thephips.org.
Yes, I'm
or,
glad you mentioned that.
Or call the Phipps, or just come by and pick
Right.
up one of the brochures, and
Right.
you can register in person or via the website or on the phone.
Do you ever have to turn anyone away?
Sometimes.
Oh, I imagine
We pull
certain
waiting
classes.
lists. Yeah, we do. We do take waiting lists so that if a spot opens up, we will, try to get somebody in.
That's good.
Oftentimes, too, the instructor will set a maximum number of students. But if we have more demand, to a reasonable degree, we will sort of see if the instructor can bring another student or two in. And if the demand is really high, then we will oftentimes get somebody who will work with the instructor just to make sure, keeping the ratio
that's a
of kids
great
to
idea.
the instructor down. So.
Yeah, because an aid would really help in those situations.
Yeah. So we try, again, I do not like to turn anybody away who, is excited about making art and exploring their creativity, so we try to make it work.
I agree. So kudos to you for that offering. It's wonderful.
Yeah, thanks.
Now, did
It
we
is
cover
exciting.
everything about the benches? Or do you have one
Well,
other thing to tell us
I mean, I
about?
could talk about the art bench trail for much longer than you have.
Well,
so
I know we didn't really cover everything, but I just hope it piqued their interest so that they will try to go find a bench.
Yeah,
And
I would say, the one thing is just that we are kicking this off this upcoming weekend. May 2nd through 4th is the kickoff for the Art Bench Trail, and that is happening in conjunction with a bird migration celebration that Tropical Wings is sponsoring. So on Friday, May 2nd, in the evening, there's a free program at the Phipps. Craig Thompson from the Wisconsin DNR is going to talk about the birds. There are 55 birds that migrate from the Costa Rica, Osa Peninsula region up to our region.
really?
And so the 13 national parks, including the St. Croix National Scenic Riverway, have embarked on a sister park agreement with a number of analogous organizations or entities down in Costa Rica. And so the Tropical Wings group, a group of volunteers, has gathered to support this partnership agreement. So they actually, knowing that the Art Bench Trail was in the works, came to me and said, well, we want to do a festival celebrating, welcoming the birds to our region. Could we work with the Art Bench Trail on that? And I was thrilled by that.
Oh, that's
There's nothing better than
wonderful.
having another group come and say, I want to work with you and let's bring all this energy to it. So we have this celebration going on. So Friday the 2nd.
This weekend, actually.
Yep. And then at each of the bench sites on Saturday the 3rd from 8 a.m. to 11 a.m., there will be different activities. People there, naturalists with information about the birds, different activities to do. For example, here in Hudson, there will be really thinking about birds in your backyard, what you can do to make it more friendly. In St. Croix Falls, focusing on photographing the birds. In Somerset, the theme is poetry. And we did a poetry contest, and so the winners of the poetry contest will read their poems at 10 o'clock at the Somerset bench. So I encourage anyone who's listening to this and watching this in a timely way and is interested, you can go to artbenchtrail.org/tropical wings, and you'll get this event flyer there, and it gives you directions to all of the benches and more specifics. In addition,
that's great. I didn't see that brochure.
Yeah, it's this is the International Bird Migration Day, so there's a lot of birding things going on, and this flyer also has things going on at different parks in the area. So
it goes through Saturday.
And then Sunday at the St. Croix Earth Day celebration at the Y Camp. We'll be doing bird watching walks around the campus
that's
there
great.
too.
So are you talking about along the river there?
Well,
or somewhere in a forest area?
It will be, they have the Earth Day celebration kind of up near their main building. And then there are trails around, and so they'll find trails where you would more than likely see some of these birds.
They've actually developed things like that. I love it.
Yeah.
I'm a bird person myself.
Oh, well.
I've been feeding them all winter, and I've enjoyed watching them so much in my backyard.
Well, it's really interesting. Oh, the other thing I should say is that I just finished hanging drawings by students. I think they were third grade students in Menominee who have been Skyping with a school group down in Costa Rica. And so we have drawings by both the kids in Menominee and a Rotarian who went down to Costa Rica, brought back drawings from the kids in Costa Rica. So we've got this beautiful display of these drawings by both the kids, juxtaposed with photographs of some of the birds that they were drawing. So I highly recommend coming down to the Phipps. Well, I'll probably keep it up through May to be able to see those drawings. They're in the lobby.
This is perfect timing because this show is going to start tomorrow night.
Yeah.
And I don't usually say what date we're doing the interview, but it is May 1st today.
It is May Day.
So perfect. Oh, I love that you're encouraging that too.
Yeah, I know. It's so exciting, and it's so in keeping with what the whole Art Bench Trail is about, getting people out,
true.
connecting with nature, connecting with these communities, really through that connection, hopefully being inspired to, take some action to keep this an environment where the birds can come and nest and,
Wow.
be healthy.
Yes, I just love that. I'm such a bird person.
Oh, well, you have got to come out
Right
then.
now I've got a lot of bird seed in my yard. And my husband's kind of on me about that, but I don't care. I want them to have food, and I want them to
Exactly.
come to my backyard.
Yes.
And one day I did have a hawk,
Wow.
Sleeping.
Oh, wow.
and all the birds were gone
Yes.
for hours. Thank goodness. But he really stuck around, and it kind of scared me. The wingspan of that
Yeah.
bird
Yeah.
was, I saw a reflection, and I thought, what is that? It was huge.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, but isn't that somehow it is so reassuring?
It is.
When I see eagles flying, I just feel like, oh,
Oh, yeah,
things are good.
that too.
you
I just think that's such a majestic bird. And of course, all down the river valley, we have that.
Mm-hmm.
So we're very lucky because I think we've encouraged it. We've done the right thing where nature's concerned, so that we haven't. I hate to see anything extinct.
Yeah, yeah.
Animals, birds, whatever.
There's more to do. I mean, I think that, where we continue to have an impact on
That's
the
right.
land. And so, the more that we can just remind ourselves and, connect, being out in
Oh, yeah, I'm
natural
very
environment
much
and all
pro
that is.
environment. And I just hope that everybody listening will enjoy that too and
Yeah.
take some opportunities here.
I hope so.
Great. Have we
hope so.
forgotten anything?
I don't think so. I just, again, really encourage people throughout the summer and into the fall to visit the benches and
Yes.
enjoy experiences in these communities. This kickoff on May 3rd is just really the first event. There are also other events planned at the different benches throughout the summer. So check out the website, artbenchtrail.org, and learn more.
And what a nice website to go to, and
Yeah.
what a nice thing for a family to do, or even for couples or whoever,
Yeah.
to follow the river and visit some of the benches and some of those great areas of nature.
Yeah, I think the Kresge Foundation gave us a really
did
nice grant
they?
to be able to do this. So
Oh,
we have, it's been fantastic. It really, I've been working on it. It's a 2-year grant, and so I did a lot of all the behind the scenes, reconnecting with many of the people who worked on the benches, and
Right.
kind of building relationships or reinforcing relationships with those communities, and then now to have it move into this kind of public phase, it's really exciting.
Wonderful. So it's actually a multi-year event.
Yes, yeah, and it will continue now that we have the website up and we've kind of set the infrastructure for this.
Excellent.
We will find ways to sustain it.
We will definitely put that up.
Great.
Well, thank you for coming today.
Thank you for having me.
What an interesting talk. I mean, you gave me much more information than I even thought I would get.
All right.
And I encourage our audience to take advantage of these wonderful opportunities in the area and along the river. And thanks again to Anastasia for pointing it all out to us. Hope you enjoyed the show today.